What is going on, guys? I am Consumer Tech Review, and today we're going to be doing a review of the HyperX Alloy FPS RGB full-size mechanical keyboard. I'm going to flashback a couple weeks ago to the unboxing video that I took a couple weeks ago when I got this, and then we're going to fast forward to today, and I'm going to give you my review of this keyboard after a couple weeks. And if at any point in the video you guys want to check out this exact same keyboard, I'll have an Amazon link below to the US, UK, and Canada. But take it away, past Consumer Tech Review. Alright guys, unboxing the HyperX Alloy FPS RGB with the Kailh Silver Speed Switches, which is probably the biggest reason why you would be interested in getting this keyboard, and which is why this keyboard is really awesome. So on the box it says it's compatible with all the things, you know, PC, PS4, Xbox One. It says it's got the Kailh Silver Speed Switches on it, the RGB. On this side it says that it sponsors all this stuff, really cool. Legitimate esports competition. On this side it's got a bunch of the different languages. It says it's got backlit keys with dynamic RGB lighting effects, solid steel frame. So this one's actually a steel frame, wow. Onboard memory for 3 profiles, and then the ultra responsive switches. And this is the really cool part right here. So this actually explains the Silver Speed Switches. So the actuation point is 1.1 millimeters, a total travel distance of 3.5, up to 70 million keystrokes, but nobody really cares about that. And then 40 grams of operation force. Now I'm coming with a mechanical keyboard with blue switches, and that is a 2 millimeter actuation point, a total distance of 4 millimeters, and a operation force of 50 grams. So this is going to be a fifth less force to use this. It's going to be 10 grams less and a whole lot less to actuation. I'm really excited to open this up and use this thing every single day. Let's crack it open. And it's taped on the edges. Well, at least it's good packaging, right? Okay, already the unboxing of this is way better than my last keyboard. HyperX obviously just does a good job because they're a really well-established brand. Overall, I'm really loving the red on this packaging. It is in plastic. Right off the bat, it's fairly heavy. I am sure that's not everything that's in the box. So let's go and check everything. So got a 2-year warranty on it, which is sick. So you don't have to worry about it, I'm sure. And here is where the cable is. Sweet. It looks like that should be it. I'm sure that the manual is probably in there with the keyboard. We can put the box to the side. This cable is nicely braided. It is not one of those cheap braided cables, because there are cheap and expensive braided cables. This one's pretty nice. It is not USB-C, however. It looks like it's got 3 connectors on it. Okay, so I'm not sure why it needs 2. I'm not sure about this cable. That will definitely be in the review. But let's unbox the rest of this thing. We're gonna do a sound test, of course. Wow, does that thing look amazing. Now, I have to tell you, it is actually pretty slim. I mean, this thing is not a behemoth. It is fairly slim. It is heavy, definitely. Obviously, all this. Solid sounding. All right, I want to do this because as soon as I got it out, I wanted to do this. Let's do a test on the switches. You ready for this? That's nice. It is linear. Let's do a sound test for you guys right now. It feels very good. It feels very solid. It is a linear switch, so it's not like a blue switch, which I just came from. Let's do an individual key test now for the sound. So the actual key tops are smooth. It is not a rougher surface. It is completely smooth. However, I am actually going to switch out all these keycaps for the HyperX pudding keycaps. So if you guys do want to go check out that video of me switching all this keyboard over to those keycaps, definitely stick around and hit that subscribe button. That will happen later. Let's flip this upside down and look at the bottom. So I have to tell you guys, I'm amazed at how thin this thing is. Those flip up. They don't have a satisfying click when they flip up, unfortunately. However, they do feel really nicely padded. They do have that not just rubber, but it actually has that cross pattern, so it sticks a bit better. The nice thing is, because this thing is so thin, I mean, you can see the actual keyboard, the actual deck of it is thinner than the keycaps. I am super excited. Let's get this thing plugged in so you can see the light. I'm obviously gonna have to turn off my big light because otherwise you won't be able to see anything because it's super bright. But let's get this thing on. Also right here, you do get a little USB to plug your phone in to charge or anything else that you want to charge. But right here is where you actually plug the keyboard in, and it sits right there in that little slot, which is kind of nice. And this is gonna be a little bit messy. I haven't set everything up yet. Okay, so immediately the glow starts. And I can tell you guys, this thing is bright. It may not look bright in there because there's a huge light on, but let's flip that thing off. And you can see that is very bright. It looks really, really nice actually. Wow. Those are a very bright white, which I kind of like that. Obviously, we're gonna want the number lock. This thing looks awesome. Now, the one thing that is a shame is they didn't include a keycap remover in the box, which, I mean, a bunch of other companies do that. I don't know why they didn't do it, but it's fine. Not a massive deal. This thing looks amazing. I'm gonna use this thing for at least 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna get back to you and do a review of it for you guys. And that review is coming in 3, 2, and we are back, guys. Let's go over the absolute best first pro of this keyboard, which has to be the switches. Oh, do I love them. When I first got it, I really wasn't sure. I was like, yeah, linear switches, okay. And then I started using it for gaming. Yeah, that whole thing changed. So let me explain it to you. 1.1 millimeters for actuation. Most keyboards, most mechanical keyboards, even gaming mechanical keyboards are about 2 millimeters. So we're almost chopping that in half, meaning that any button you press is gonna take half as long to actuate, half as long to actually be read inside of the computer. And I don't mean like response time between the keyboard, and I mean how far you have to press down before it actuates, before it completes the click. That makes a difference. You're really not sure how much of this stuff is just marketing and how much of it is legitimate. This made the biggest difference. I can't even explain it. The first game that I played with this was Insurgency Sandstorm. You guys know I love that game, but it's kind of competitive. It's pretty fast paced. You have to do things pretty quickly. And when I was playing it, I was like, I started moving in a certain direction because I was like, oh, it happened that quickly? Like everything just happens faster. And it does take a minute to get used to, but it probably took me about 5-10 minutes to get used to it. And then gaming was just, it's never the same. I went back to my old keyboard and I was like, this feels slow. So the Silver Speed Switches, these are Kailh oh my God, I cannot talk. These are Kailh Silver Speed Switches. They're fantastic. Love them. Now moving on to the build quality, this thing is built superbly. It has the steel frame, obviously that's why it's called the Alloy. It has that steel frame which is pretty low profile. It's pretty thin and the switches kind of sit on top of it, which I really, really like. And as well, continuing with the build quality theme, the actual keycaps on there, they're completely smooth. Now this feels like the keycaps feel very premium, like very premium. They feel premium. You know, it's a fairly expensive keyboard. They feel premium. However, they're completely smooth. They're kind of like a matte finish, completely smooth. They don't have any texture to them. However, if you like that, you're gonna like this. If not, put some HyperX pudding keycaps on there, which I'm gonna do, so subscribe right now if you wanna see that. I'm gonna do that very, very soon. But yeah, overall, fantastic build quality. You also get a USB for charging your phone with this, which is awesome. And one of the things that I just hate when wired keyboards don't do this, it's a detachable cable. Yes, thank you. Thank you, HyperX. I love it when, even though the keyboard is wired, they make the wire detachable. That's especially good for me because I do a lot of unboxings and I don't have multiple desks. I'm not quite that big yet, but I have to move literally everything on the desk right there. And there's cables. You can see the cable, the cable, the cable. It's so easy to just pull the cable out instead of having to literally unplug the cable and move the entire keyboard. I can just unplug the cable, move the keyboard. So it makes it nice if you do a lot of different stuff or something like that. But most of you guys won't be worried about that. Most of it will actually be the longevity of it. Because if that thing breaks, it's not like some special cable, it's just a mini USB, which is kind of the con. I wish that it was USB-C, but you can't get everything, can you? But yeah, overall, fantastic build quality. Love that it's a detachable cable. Moving on to the next pro, that RGB baby. I didn't show it to you in the unboxing. You had to wait all the way until now, or until the B-roll shots started, but oh my God, is it bright. It's so bright. This was such a good job. A lot of budget keyboards, they'll have RGB, they'll have all the effects, but they won't have the brightness that this thing has. It's bright. I'm in love with it. I can't wait for the putting keycaps. The RGB is fantastic. They also have their software for the RGB, which is really, really good. You can change pretty much anything, individual key lighting, all these different effects, cool. And yeah, RGB is fantastic. You'll have no issues with the RGB. Okay, so overall, the reason that you buy this thing is for those switches, because they're so quick, especially in gaming. Now, I will tell you, my real life experience when typing, it takes a while to type accurately on this thing because everything is so quick. When you're typing away really fast, you'll have mistakes because it's such a quick actuation. If you're just typing all day, there's no reason for you to want this keyboard unless you really want to get super fast, because it's essentially like if you turn up your sensitivity on your mouse in a game, you're gonna suck playing that game for like 5 days. And then once you get used to the sensitivity, you're gonna become a boss. So that's basically what this is. So it will take you a while if you type a lot on this. However, in games, it's pretty freaking instant, and the change is so good in games. So this is really, really centered for gamers. However, I've been using this with editing, writing emails, stuff like that, and it's worked fantastic. Don't think that this is like, it's a crazy, insane difference in typing. It is different, and you do have more mistakes, definitely, but it's not gonna you're not gonna be able to not type, you know what I mean? So gaming is where it really, really, really is crazy. But we're gonna move to the cons, and there are only two. One of those is soldered on switches, which again, it's not a huge deal because you're buying this for the switches that this has, which are really good. The Kailh Silver Speed Switches. I literally mess it up every single time. But yeah, they're soldered on, so you can't hot swappable. It's not hot swappable. Having trouble talking to you guys. But the only other con is that it is not waterproof. And that's just kind of like weird because a lot of these budget keyboards that I've reviewed are waterproof. So it just seems funny that they don't have that. However, I don't usually drink any drinks near any of my workstations. I'll usually leave my drink on the floor because so don't spill your drink on it. It might be because of the low profile actual board, because the keys actually sit above the board, which I really like. The RGB looks cooler that way anyway, and it definitely is slimmer on your desk, but not waterproof. It's not waterproof. However, if you guys want to get a keyboard that is going to up your game playing, up your precision and your quickness in games, this keyboard is definitely one for you. It is amazing. It's awesome. I love it. I highly recommend it. Again, I have an Amazon link below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do not forget, you guys, you know me. If you enjoyed my video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you want to check out my last video, it was about the best TV for Xbox X Series and the PS5. So if you're interested in that video, definitely click on it and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10K before December, I don't know, sometime, Christmas. Let's go. This was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys later.